Yeah, hello. That was Prayer Interlude by the California Honey Drops. We're going to have another tune from them tonight. Really enjoyable band. And this second show in a row broadcasting from my mom's. And a big shift going on for me. Since I've been here in the high, I've been helping out my buddy, Java James, 24/7, except for a weekend off every 2 or 3 weeks. And I finally hit the wall. I wasn't the strongest when I got here, and so I've been here at my mom's a little longer this time, and I've been getting plenty of rest and getting fresh perspective, and so I'm going to not be doing 24/7 any longer, but still helping out regularly through the night, and that's when I'm a night owl, and I love working with music at night, so it works out very harmoniously for those daytime folks. So anyway, this is a sweet show that came together tonight, and a big part of it is a band called the Waybacks from San Francisco, and they bring together acoustic, old-timey bluegrass, Celtic kind of roots, but are very progressive and rock, and they do some really interesting things. But anyway, this is a chance to really get in the flow and get loose, and we're going to let Stacey get us started here with Can't You Dance? And I think you can.
Well, sit right back and now try to relax. What's wrong with you? Don't you know the answer? Can't you do it? Well, now, can't you do it? Oh, what's wrong with you, boy? Can't you dance? Well, sit right down and I'll take off the load and watch me close, dear. I can show you how to do it. I show you how to do it. Oh, oh, come on, my boy, it's ready. Well, I can show you just what to do, but only if you want me to. I have to do it. I show you how to do it. Oh, oh, come on now, boy, watch me dance. Oh, oh, well, I know how you boys like to watch me dance. Here we go. How about that? Hey, Purdy. Well, the lesson's over, so why don't you come on up here? No need to worry, no need to fear, for you do it. I know how you can do it. Oh, oh, come on now, boy. You now.
Be glad you broke up. Be glad you don't know what happens next. Be glad you're walking. Be glad you're talking. 'Cause who knows just what might happen next. Just 'cause you want it, don't mean you'll get it. Sometimes you've just gotta let it go. But if you get it, still got to let it. Sometimes you've just gotta let it go.
If you take away all the king's horses, you take away all the king's land, you take away all the king's power, all you got left is a man. A man is no smarter than you are, still is always telling you what to do. That's not good enough for me. Is it good enough for you? Nobody listens anymore. Nobody cares anyhow. They just follow eyes closed into the dark, never worry how they're getting back out. And nobody's willing to do anything. Everybody likes to complain. If yesterday is any indication, tomorrow will be more of the same. Same old story for 100 years, in favor of the fortunate few. That's not good enough for me. struggles to survive. Like a queen bee gets all the honey when the little bee filled up the hive. They say that life isn't fair, like it justifies things that they do. That's not good enough for me. Now, is it good enough for me? Oh, that's not good enough for me. Is it good enough for me?
Well, this is a tune that we do that's kind of a more like a Sex Pistols kind of thing. All my life I've been a traveling man. All my life I've been a traveling man. I just move along and I do the best I can. I ship my trunk way down to Tennessee. I ship my trunk way down in Tennessee. No, you just can't tell about a man like me. I had a gal, could not get her off of my mind. I had a gal, could not get her off of my mind. Put me down, said she didn't like my kind. Night. She got a great big police dog itching for a fight. He likes to ramble whenever he gets a chance. He likes to ramble whenever he gets a chance. And he sinks his teeth in everybody's pants. Whoa! Travel, I guess I'll let her be. Before she sicks that police dog on me. All my life I've been a traveling man. All my life I've been a traveling man. I just move along and I do the best I can. All my life I've been a traveling man. All my life I've been a traveling man. Along and I do the live by the golden rule. Yes, I'm an old-fashioned papa, living by the golden rule. I don't have much education, but don't you take me for no fool. I won't mess in your business, don't you mess in mine. I won't mess in your business, buddy, don't you mess in mine. 'Cause I'm a rough and ready daddy, I know just how to change your mind. Bother your woman unless she starts bothering me. No, I won't bother your woman unless she starts bothering me. I got that old time way of loving, I know just how to set her free. I've been all over, always into something new. Yes, I've been all over, I'm always into something new. Just one thing never changed, I love to play my old-fashioned blues.
Been to London, I've been to Rome, played my shows and come back home. The golden goose ain't landed yet, this is as good as it's gonna get. iPod's playing an old cheap trick, my oh my, my, you've grown up quick. Trying to keep this kitchen clean, that's all real life really means. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Head's in the ground, mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. Pull those records off the shelf, sit up late and doubt myself. Ain't no fuss and ain't no sweat, this is as good as it's gonna get. Love my son and love my wife, try like hell to love my life. Jesus is my saving grace, but I don't always know my place. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Dad's in the ground, mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. I played the game and I've sold some oats, ran myself down people's throats, banged my head against the wall. All in all, I've had a ball. $100 to play 3 sets, this is as good as it's gonna get. The future's shorter than the past. My oh my, you've grown up fast. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Dad's in the ground, mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. Mama's alright, daddy's alright, the boy's alright, we're all alright, we're all alright.
Hey, far out, man. That was pretty psychedelic. Ended up, every time I listen to that, I'm getting more blown away. It was pretty magical. And, yeah, we opened that up, just a second, let me get scrolled back up there. We opened that up with Can't You Dance, Stacey Earle, this daughter of the sister of Steve Earle. I had a chance to see her at one of the greatest, I would say it is the greatest place that I've seen concerts in my life. And that's the Palms Playhouse that used to be just outside Davis, California, just down the road from Sacramento towards San Francisco. And she did Can't You Dance? And then we had the California Honey Drops contemporary group doing Like This, Like That. Then the Waybacks from San Francisco, and like I said, when I discovered them, my Athens, Appalachian, psychedelic roots of my soul had a place to dig in, and they did Good Enough, followed by Police Dog Blues, live, that was live. And then we had Tommy Womack doing Play That Cheap Trick Play. I'll say that again. Play that cheap trick play. And then following that, we had Cheap Trick playing, and playing of all things, Magical Mystery Tour. I just discovered this in this search, and that was pretty special. It's pretty special version of that. And then back to the Waybacks, Temporary Cheese. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, and boy, it's really cold here in Ohio. Frosting up and a little snow, supposed to maybe snow tonight. And yeah, I was thinking I might be heading back to California on Tuesday, but I'm going to be extending my stay. And I did want to say, I never know how what I say comes across, but you know, the caregiving I've been giving hasn't been like a constant demand. Basically been hanging with Java James, and his mobility is diminished greatly from when we were out on the road camping and hitting music festivals and stuff. But we've been hanging. I just am worn out and got to do a little more. I'm going to try to find a gym to start working out a little more. So anyway, let's get going here. I wish you all well. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And this is the Waybacks taking us home. I'm really fine. I really am.
It might be a mistake.
When I was 17 and just a little bit bewildered, feeling cheated and hungover in the wake of adolescence, my recruiter took my number and he graded my exam. He said, you'd be a perfect soldier, except you got no depth perception. Said, I want to serve my country and I got so much potential. He said, what you lack in weight you more than make up for in density. You see, I'd always suffered from a lack of self-esteem, so if my country doesn't want me, then I'll serve the Catholic Church. So I enrolled in seminary where I memorized the gospel, but they caught me reading on the road and threw me on my ass. There were a bunch of other factors which I won't enumerate. So then I'm sitting in my parents' Norman Rockwell living room and being still so as to hear my ego crashing in my ears when the voice of reason says, son, have you thought about the future? And I get real sick, but now I'm fine.
He's fine, he's really fine.
I'm really fine.
He's fine, he's really fine.
By 23, I gained a sort of enigmatic drive, and having no success with suicide, I thought I'd turn to art. So I acquired a set of brushes and I went without a bath, which presumably implied I had a new set of beliefs. But I'd underestimated the important role of talent, which was easily apparent from the record of my sales. And in the meantime, I'd severely strained a muscle in my thigh, attempting to sustain the lotus on a neighbor's kitchen table. In the hospital, I thought of doing something for the world, but the Peace Corps didn't answer, so I joined joined a cooking school, having always held and cherished an affinity for food. But my self-respect deflated with an undercooked souffle, and I was back to bussing tables at that Denny's in Salinas where I sorta snapped, but now I'm well.
He's well, he's really
I'm
well.
really well.
He's well, he's really well.
Yeah, it's a long story how I got to say now I'm well. My mother always told me to be more like my dad. I asked her more like which one of the 5 that I'd had. She said a change is coming, don't go feeling so used. I said my only problem is I'm chronically confused. On my 27th birthday, which occurred about that age, I was talking to the analyst who found me selling incense at an airport after having left the clinic. About a crisis and some silly Venice metaphor for sinking in the soul, when my thought was interrupted by a birthmark on my arm which looked a little like Nebraska. I'd forgotten since those 2 weeks of pre-med in junior college, which I quit to study judo. And I looked at all the meat and marrow someone stuck together, all the veins and vital organs, all that gray and white, all humming and collaborating and ticking and recycling and making that Nebraska on my arm a possibility. And I got up from the couch and I shouted, "Hey, I own this thing!" And my analyst suspected I was closing on the edge, and I convinced him when I said I wouldn't send him any money. He said, "Don't go getting cocky 'cause you had one revelation, 'cause the only tool you got against psychosis is experience, and yours has all been bad." I said, "You're darn right, but now I'm good."
He's good, he's really
I'm
good.
really good.
He's good, he's really
yes,
good.
now I'm good.
He's good, he's really
I'm
good.
so darn good.
He's good, he's so darn good.
It took a long time for me to wake up and see. I'm good. That's it.